lonely farm in the middle of nowhere, a family brutally slaughtered in the dead of night, and an invisible presence watching them for days before their deaths. This is one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries of all time. The Hinterkaifeck murders. Hinterkaifeck was a small farm in Bavaria, Germany, home to the Gruber family, Andreas, his wife Cecilia, their daughter Victoria, and Victoria's 2 children. The farm was isolated, surrounded by dense forests and fields, creating an eerie atmosphere that seemed to hold secrets of its own. The Grubers were known to be a reclusive family, keeping to themselves and rarely interacting with the nearby villagers. This isolation would soon become a backdrop for a series of unsettling events that would culminate in tragedy. They also had a maid, Maria. Days before their deaths, strange things began happening. Maria had just started working for the Grubers, replacing the previous maid who had left under mysterious circumstances. The new maid quickly sensed that something was amiss. She reported hearing strange noises at night, whispers that seemed to come from the walls, and an overwhelming feeling of being watched. Andreas found mysterious footprints in the snow, leading to the house, but none leaving. These footprints appeared after a heavy snowfall, making it clear that someone had approached the house but had not left. This discovery deeply unsettled Andreas, who was already on edge due to the strange occurrences. He searched the property thoroughly but found no signs of an intruder. He heard footsteps in the attic yet found no one inside. The sounds were unmistakable. Heavy, deliberate steps that echoed through the silent house. Andreas climbed up to the attic multiple times, armed with a lantern, but each time he found it empty. The attic was dusty and undisturbed, with no signs that anyone had been there. Their previous maid had quit, terrified, claiming the house was haunted. She had been with the family for only a few months before she abruptly left, refusing to return. She spoke of ghostly apparitions, objects moving on their own, and a sense of dread that permeated the house. Her departure had left the family without help until Maria was hired. Then, one night, the unseen horror struck. The family was found brutally murdered, their bodies discovered days later by concerned neighbors. The events leading up to that fateful night remain shrouded in mystery, with many questions left unanswered. Who was responsible for the murders? What was the source of the strange happenings? The Hinterkaifeck murders continue to baffle investigators and haunt the imaginations of those who hear the tale. On March 31, 1922, an unknown intruder entered the farm and waited. The Hinterkaifeck farmstead, located in Bavaria, Germany, was a quiet and isolated place, surrounded by dense woods and far from the nearest village. The Gruber family, who lived there, had no idea of the horror that was about to unfold. One by one, 6 people were led into the barn, beaten to death with a mattock, a type of pickaxe. The victims included Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia, their daughter Victoria, and her 2 children, Cecilia and Joseph. Even the family's maid, Maria Baumgartner, who had just started working there, was not spared from the brutal attack. Then, the killer entered the house and murdered the children and the maid in their beds. The scene inside the house was equally gruesome. Bloodstains covered the walls and floors, and the once peaceful home had turned into a nightmarish slaughterhouse. The children, who were only 7 and 2 years old, were found in their beds, their lives cruelly cut short. The most horrifying detail? The killer stayed in the house for days after the murders, eating their food, feeding their animals, and even lighting the fireplace. Neighbors reported seeing smoke from the chimney and assumed everything was normal. It wasn't until days later that the bodies were discovered, and the true extent of the horror was revealed. The Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of Germany's most chilling unsolved mysteries, a haunting reminder of the evil that can lurk in the most unexpected places. The bodies were discovered 4 days later when neighbors noticed the family had gone missing. But every clue led to a dead end. No robbery, no clear motive. The murder weapon was found at the scene, but the killer had vanished without a trace. Even more disturbing, some say the family knew their killer. So, who was behind the Hinterkaifeck murders? This question has puzzled investigators and historians for decades, leading to numerous theories and speculations. The gruesome nature of the crime, combined with the eerie setting of the isolated farmhouse, has only added to the mystery. Some believe Victoria's ex-husband or an enemy of the family committed the crime out of revenge. The family had its share of disputes and conflicts, and it's possible that someone close to them harbored a deep grudge. The brutality of the murders suggests a personal vendetta, a crime of passion fueled by anger and resentment. Others suggest it was the work of a roaming serial killer, passing through Bavaria and striking when the farm was vulnerable. During that era, there were several reports of transient individuals committing heinous crimes. The isolated location of the Hinterkaifeck farm made it an easy target for such a predator, who could strike and then disappear without a trace. And then, there are those who believe the stories of ghosts were real. The Hinterkaifeck farm was rumored to be haunted even before the murders. Strange noises, unexplained footsteps, and eerie sightings were reported by the family. Could it be that these supernatural occurrences culminated in a deadly manifestation? That the killer was not human, but something else? Some locals whispered about a malevolent spirit or a demonic entity that took the lives of the Gruber family. While these theories may seem far-fetched, the lack of concrete evidence and the bizarre circumstances of the case leave room for such chilling possibilities. The truth remains elusive, shrouded in mystery and speculation. Over a century later, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of Germany's greatest unsolved crimes. Was it an act of human evil? Or did something beyond our understanding lurk in the shadows of that farm? What do you think? Leave your theories in the comments below. If you love diving into real-life horror and unsolved mysteries, subscribe to Nightmare Cases and hit the notification bell for more terrifying stories. Until next time, sleep tight.